Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Between Horizons. And in the last episode, guys, Stella began her investigation trying to figure out which of the 4 power nodes actually failed first that caused this catastrophic power failure throughout the Zephyr. And looking at the evidence and communications here, we're just trying to narrow down which one's which. Now, this is from power node A. It goes A, B, C, and D. We saw via this readout, one power node went off and then a second power node went off, so it's not A. Then we have the testimony from Tijan, who is responsible for power node B, who said there was reported a node failure, or maybe multiple. In other words, one or more nodes failed before yours, and so it couldn't have been this one. So it's not A and it's not B, so that leads C and D. Now we've got Arjun here, who is stationed in Inner Hull D. I think we probably need to question him about some other stuff. I didn't get a whole lot of information. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what we can show to him. Maybe power rod. I'm trying to trace where the power outage originated. There are large rods with screens on them down in the power node rooms. Can you tell me anything about them that would help in my case? Sounds like you already found the display on node A that logs all the node's activity. If you want to know what went down in node B, you'll have to ask Tijan. All I know is the alarm started blaring, then the lights turned off, and I was flung into a wall. I woke up all wet with a searing pain in my eye. At first I thought I was bleeding like crazy, but most of it was actually water from a burst pipe. By that point, gravity was back. The emergency lights were on and the doors worked again. To be honest, I didn't have another look at the screen before I left to seek medical attention. Did you notice any notifications prior to your node turning off? I must have missed them because the alarm doesn't start for nothing. I assume at least 2 nodes failed before mine. Oh. Okay, I think that was the evidence that we needed. So Arjun says that at least 2 nodes failed before his. Tijan said reported a node failure or maybe multiple. And then we have got A that said that there was 1, 2 off. So Tijan here, I'll say Tijan, probably was saying 1. I'm assuming that both of these engineers are telling the truth. We have heard nothing from Node C and nothing about Node C, so by process of elimination, I would say that maybe Node C is what we're looking at here. Which of the power nodes went out first? I'm going to say Node C. Are you sure you want to submit the case? Yes? Chief, I saw you submitted your results. Good work. I forwarded them to Sergeant Paul. Let's hope it helps. Go to your bunk and try and get some rest. My bunk? Captain, there's nothing else you can do at the moment. It's important that you be back to full health as soon as possible. We will evaluate your results now. I'll call you immediately if anything of importance happens in the meantime. Understood, Captain. Jeez, I hope we made the right call. Guess we'll find out. So, return to my bunk to get some rest. Well, we're still looking for Chi-Chi. We are on the hunt for a very, very evasive cat. So we still have these. We can't travel up that way yet, can we? Well, let's try. Seems that everything else is in good shape. Oh, laboratory. Yeah, we still can't travel to the laboratories or the farm. Maybe Chi-Chi's there. Let's hope. Let's go to the map and fast travel. back to our quarters. Very far away from everyone else's quarters, I've noticed. Who knows, maybe Chi-Chi will be sitting there waiting for us. Cat's like, you have done well. I will grace you with my presence as a reward. That is very feline-like. One more. What the? Stella! What are you doing in my bunk, Ava? I'm sorry, I think this is a big misunderstanding. My place got completely wrecked when the thing happened. I was told that this bunk was empty and that I could stay here until everything was sorted out. So I was granted access. Oh. Yeah, I see. I think we should have pulled the gun on her. I was supposed to move into the chief's bunk weeks ago. I guess that's why they thought this one was free. Sorry for jumping you like this. I'm a little paranoid due to recent events. It's okay. Everything is fine. I'm sorry for the confusion. I'll tell Richard I need another bunk. No, wait. You can stay in my dad's bunk. It's right above mine. That's nice of you. Thanks. I'll request access. Of course. How are you holding up, Stella? About as well as you'd think. Everything's a shit show and I feel responsible for fixing it. And you? I'm fine. Listen, you don't need to bear all that responsibility alone. I think there are better ways we could... I'm really sorry, but I'm getting a call. I think it's the captain. Oh. Well, I'll get out of your hair. Sorry for the intrusion. I'll be upstairs if you want to talk, okay? Thank you, Ava. Captain? Chief, I'm afraid there's no time to rest after all. Please come see me at the conference room on the bridge as soon as you can. Did you find what caused the outage? Let's talk in person. So where we're going to be fired? Captain Taylor, I came as fast as I could. Or Talia. Thank you, Chief. Why are we meeting here? I need to talk to you alone. The sergeants evaluated your assessment of the power outage. You are right. Power Node C started the chain reaction. Huzzah! Knowing this, we were able to determine the reason. The ship's engine has been turned on. What? The ship was not equipped to perform a maneuver without any preparation. The engine hasn't been used in over 30 years. Perform a maneuver? We have changed course. Oh, that's not good. The engines are still running. We're slowly accelerating and changing our trajectory. Why aren't we changing it? Because the navigators are locked out of their own system. At first they were completely unable to even boot it up. Now they can see what's happening, but they're unable to do anything. What kind of glitch? It's not a glitch. The system has been hacked. The programmed maneuver will end tomorrow. Once it's complete, we'll be headed toward a different star. A different star? Why? What's there? Nothing. But it is a lot closer. We'd be entering its gravitational pull in just about 3 years. Can we course correct back to Eurus tomorrow after the maneuver is finished? We don't know yet if the system will let us back in at that point. But even if it does, it will be too late. We will need almost all the fuel we still have to decelerate. If we allow the ongoing maneuver to finish, we won't have enough fuel to course correct and to brake. We would be able to do just one. We either arrive at the wrong star, or we overshoot the right one. Chief, I need you to understand what this means. This maneuver was only possible in a very small window of time. This was a premeditated sabotage of the mission that may have been planned for years. Whoever did this not only has intimate knowledge of our systems, You're also able to calculate and perform a complex maneuver. Do you think they knew it would cause this disastrous power outage? Maybe not. That part did not need to happen for their plan to succeed. It seems more like an accidental byproduct. There's a complex series of steps we usually have to take to prepare an engine start. The hacker either didn't know that, or they weren't able to pull it off for lack of time, skill, accomplices. Whatever the reason, we believe they were hoping the maneuver would stay undetected for as long as possible. The engine is set to a very gentle burn. The change in gravity is almost unnoticeable. But there are signs of our sideways momentum that people will notice eventually. Slanted water in a tank, a ball rolling down the hall, people tripping over their feet. Oh, I thought my balance was off because of head trauma. Listen, Chief. This will be the most important assignment of your career. Our navigators are trying everything to regain control over the engine, but they will not give me any assurances. The hacker is the only person who knows how to undo this. You need to find them and make them talk before it's too late. If we do not course correct by the same time tomorrow, our mission fails. Do we have any leads whatsoever? The hack might have been perpetrated by the dissidents we were already investigating. The timing cannot be coincidental. Talk to your sergeant at the security office to follow up on this. But we do have another lead. The perpetrator must have been at the navigation room to go through with the attack. In fact, they must have been there in the minutes right before the power went out. There are no signs of forced entry, so our prime suspects are the people who have access to the room. This includes navigators Noelia, Orland, and Joseph. At least some of them should be there right now. Engineers Eric and Asha also have access, but I don't know their status or whereabouts since the incident. I've granted you access to the navigation room. Have a look around in there and talk to the navigators. They know that I'm briefing you right now and are instructed to help, but don't forget that we can't rule them out as suspects. Outside of them and your sergeants, you are to keep the contents of this entire meeting to yourself. Understood? Understood, Captain. That will be all. Let me know immediately when you make any progress. I will.
As I exited the conference room, 1,000 questions started forming in my head. If the hackers' sole intention had been to divert the ship, why did they specifically set course to the Otis system? Were they planning to orbit the star for the rest of time? I immediately felt that Talia wasn't telling me the whole truth, but I knew that prying would have been pointless. She had a habit of tightly controlling the flow of information, and in most instances, it was probably wise and well-intentioned. I would get my answers soon enough anyway.
Chi-Chi! I'm really not sure what to do with you. What's the problem? Don't you want to go back? I guess that's a no. Maybe something they're scared or... Okay. Security office, let's look at our cases. Talk to the sergeants in the security room, have a look around the navigation room, and talk to everybody who has access. Let's go ahead and maybe... What would be the best way to go about this? Well, the navigation room's right here, so... Navigator Joseph, how are things going?
Chief, I'm so sorry about this whole mess. We're still locked out of our system. Someone must have done this on purpose. We'll continue trying to regain control, but it's proving to be very complicated.
Good luck. Please contact the sergeants immediately if you make any progress.
I will, Chief.
Do you have any idea what went down in here leading up to the incident?
I'm sorry, Chief. I hadn't been here for hours prior to the attack. I was out celebrating Arrival Day.
Can anyone corroborate that?
Engineer Farrad and I were talking to Dr. Yaha when the power outage happened, and in the hour leading up to it.
So you weren't in here at all that day?
As far as I know, nobody was supposed to be in here that day.
Thank you, Navigator Joseph. We'll have to cross-reference that. Orland. Navigator Orland, Have you had any success regaining control over your systems?
Not yet.
Can I ask you some questions about the events that transpired here around the time of the power outage?
Afraid not, Chief.
What? Why not?
I believe we haven't formally met ever since you inherited your father's job. Didn't answer his questions. Won't answer yours.
And why is that?
I have my reasons. It's a long story.
Do you know what the stakes are right now? I can't help but feel like you might be involved in this mess. If you want to clear your name, you better start answering my questions now.
Tell you what, Chief. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot here. You're not your old man, so maybe this is my chance that someone will finally look into this for me.
What are you talking about?
I was framed for a crime 20 years ago. I originally joined the mission of farmer. After the verdict, I was barred from working another day in my job. I was forced to swap places with a navigator. I wasn't allowed to see my biological child anymore. They all failed me. The crew, security, William. That's why I won't help you.
So you want me to
reopen the case, clear my name.
Even if I wanted to, you haven't given me a lot to go by. I don't even know what you were charged with.
Ask Sergeant Aldrich. He had a front row seat when it all went down.
Fine.
He wouldn't bring this up, especially in the tense situation, like, hey, let me bring up a crime 20 years ago if he had anything to do with it. He wouldn't want to bring attention to himself.
I'll give him a call and see what we can do.
Yes, Chief.
Sergeant, I'm in the navigation room looking for the power outage. I just had a chat with Navigator Orland. He's not answering my questions. He said he'll talk to me if we open a case from...
Is he serious?
I'm afraid so.
Now? He wants us to reopen his case now?
It sounded like he's been waiting for this for a long time, but he sees an opportunity now.
Chief, this will take a while to look into.
Maybe I'll find something. Just send me the old file.
If you wish, but in my professional opinion, we shouldn't spend too much time on this. I'll send you a message and attach the case records.
So you know what this is about?
There's only one case he could be talking about. Well, two, but they're connected. You'll see. One more thing. If you're really going to look into this, you need access to the farm. I'm granting it to you now. It's above the hospital in the bio area. You can reach it via the elevator.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Ooh, okay. So let's look at our messages. Here you go, Chief. I've attached the records of the two cases involving Navigator Orland at the time Farmer Orland. Both occurred in short succession many years ago. I've also added a file about the substance that got him convicted and later banned from his job. The chemical was intended to be a fertilizer but was used in a makeshift bomb. Only 2 people had access to it at the time, and the other person had an alibi. Ooh. Okay. The file says Farmer Orland was found guilty of using an explosive to gain access to his ex-partner Zena's bunk in the residential area during a custody battle over their biological child, Lewis. The most damning piece of evidence was a fertilizer used... The most damning piece of evidence was a fertilizer used in makeshift explosive, only accessible to Farmer Orland and his colleague who had an alibi. My dad was chief at the time, and Sergeant Aldrich was his right-hand man. Orland was found guilty and transferred to the navigation room, where he no longer has access to dangerous chemicals. He was also put under a temporary restraining order against Zena and Lewis. Crazy. Plant fertilizer only accessible to very few people working on the farm floor. Sergeant Aldrich sent me this record. The fertilizer was allegedly used in a makeshift explosive by Navigator Orland, who worked as a farmer at the time. Okay. So many things have just now happened. So let's go
travel to... shuttle right next to the elevator. Hallelujah. Side quests always take precedence. Very curious to see what the hydroponics farm looks like here.
Okay, Chi-Chi. Tell you what. You go back to the bunk whenever you're ready. I promise I'll let you roam free once in a while, okay? Chi-Chi, please. I don't want to be alone.
In typical cat fashion.
She did look more relaxed this time. I should check my bunk sometime. Maybe she actually went home.
The runaway. If you loved them, set them free. Oh, maybe that was enough. We will head back and check here in a second. Umberto.
Farmer Umberto, how are things going up here?
Could be better, could be worse, Chief. Nava and I weren't hurt at all. We got lucky. One of our tanks was toppled over. Too heavy to lift for the two of us, but backup is on the way. The plants are taking it surprisingly well so far. We don't anticipate a disruption in the supply chain. Took a while to mop up the water and soil, though. Hope we didn't clog the recycler. Now the chaos in this place is almost back to its original state.
That sounds good. I was a little worried about the food supplies.
You'll have a chat with him here in a second. Oh, look at all the produce. This goes on for ages.
Nava. Farmer Nava, how are you holding up okay in here? So far, so good, Chief. The plants don't seem to be all that damaged. That's the most important thing. Good. How come you're visiting the farm? Just checking in on everyone? A case leads me here, actually. Really? Are you investigating the ring failure? Did someone do it? On purpose? No, it's not that. Long story. I might have some questions for you. For me? Sure. Ask away.
So we got two farmers here. And that goes right into... oh, right back to the quarters. Well, since we're here... hey, buddy.
Chi-Chi. I don't know how you made it back inside, but I'm so glad you're here. Why did you keep running away? Are you getting bored in here? I always thought you liked this place. I'll let you out on your own now once in a while, okay? Just be careful. It can be dangerous out there. Although you seem to handle yourself well. Who's the best girl?
Pet.
You are, that's right.
Aww, worth it. Mighty pets. Here, let's go ahead and check some... there, have a nice forest there, Chi-Chi. All's well that ends well. Okay. So let's go ahead and present some evidence.
Do you know what this is? Yes, of course. It's a fertilizer we use pretty frequently in here. Is it possible that a non-farmer got their hands on it somehow a long time ago? Well, we're not allowed to give them out, and we keep a very strict inventory nowadays. Nowadays? My dad once told me that it wasn't always quite as strict, but the chemicals were always meant to be used by farmers exclusively. Is it possible that he gave some of them away here and there? I can't say for sure, but Rose begged him all the time, and he always turned her down. Oh, sorry, wrong voice. I can't say for sure, but Rose begged him all the time, and he always turned her down as far as I know. Rose. It makes sense, she's obsessed with her plants. In any case, if my dad ever snuck out chemicals, it certainly ended a year ago. Because that's when he Died. Yes.
Awkward. Okay. Well, we have something in common, at least. So Rose may be involved in this somehow.
Farmer Umberto, are you familiar with this substance?
Of course I am. Use it almost daily.
Does any of it ever leave the farm floor?
We're not allowed to take it away from here, Chief.
Are there any measures in place to ensure this?
It's just a rule, but I promise we never break it.
Not even once? Maybe years ago?
Not since I transferred here from the navigation room, to my knowledge at least.
Oh. Okay. Now, one thing to consider is Umberto has navigation knowledge if he transferred. So could he still have had access to the room? We need to file that in the back of our heads.
Okay. Classified case, maybe?
Farmer Umberto, I'm looking into this old case involving Navigator Orland.
Are you talking about that really old one?
The one that resulted in you trading places, yes.
Well, that's a surprise. Why are you telling me?
Do you believe he's guilty of the crime he was convicted of?
Chief, I really don't know why you believe I know the answer to this. I only know that he claims to be innocent to this day.
Do you believe him?
Well, at least he's never lied about anything else to me.
Let's go ahead and bring that up to Nava.
How well do you know Navigator Orland, if you don't mind me asking? We haven't talked much in many years, honestly. Of course, I knew him well as a kid. I basically grew up around here when he was still a farmer. Are you familiar with Engineer Zena's case against him? Of course. That's why he left. It was a big drama. But I was still very young when it happened. I went over the files. The most pertinent piece of evidence against him was a chemical compound used in a makeshift explosive. Hypothetically, is it possible that someone other than Orland or your father could have access to this fertilizer? Oh, that's why you've been asking about this. I really think I told you all I know already.
At least she knows. Maybe we need to talk to Lewis about this. And Xena, get what Orland was kind of up to. If anything. Or what their relationship was. Okay, multiple attachments. Here, where's the access to the brig? Is Lewis still there? We have to see. Hello, Bob. That he is.
I don't know what you mean. It's my biological father. We don't talk much. What about him?
I mean, needed to double check, and that also kind of shows how kind of crazy this world is. Once you're classified as something else, it's over. Alright, fast travel. We're gonna go run and talk to Xena real quick about that, and then we'll go have a conversation with Rose. At least no one's on the bar spouting off rebellion. All the way to the top. Hopefully this doesn't bring up some bad feelings.
Xena, there's something I need to ask you about. I've learned about your involvement in a custody battle. Oh, did your father tell you about this? No, Xena. She doesn't seem to be all there. Maybe I can trick her. Anyway, your custody battle with... Farmer Orland, right? Yes, what about it? This custody battle. It's happened very recently, right? Yes. How did it go for you? Assistant Chief Stella, I don't know if we should be talking about this. What makes you say that? It's just, I think your father has it under control. Of course, I just want to check in on his behalf. So he told you everything? So it's done? Did he use the... you know... the thing Dorian gave him for his little tree? Could you fill me in on the plan again? Oh, Stella, I think I said too much. Just tell your father I'm eternally grateful, will you? I will. Thank you, Xena. I hope you feel better soon.
Oh, the plot has thickened. Okay, interesting. Stella's got a lot of stuff on her mind, and we will try and figure that out in the next episode, guys. I hope you all have enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.